This is Ben Jacobson with the Placerville Wing Chun Club, and I am posting a video response to Sifu Zeidler's video response to the clip of Nicolas Cage and Robert Downey Jr. and their attitudes towards Wing Chun. I'd like to start out with Nicolas Cage, what I saw in that clip. I've actually seen the movie Bangkok Dangerous. It's your standard mercenary assassin movie. I was somewhat impressed by seeing the Wing Chun they did in that movie. I thought it was very basic, very to the point. It wasn't over the top. They weren't trying to make it crazy. They were doing Dan Chi Sao, a Lop Sao drill, I believe, and two-arm Chi Sao in somewhat a similar way to kind of how we practice it. I thought that what Sifu Zeidler said was perfectly true. They were performing Chi Sao like they were practicing for battle, and that's not what Chi Sao is about. It's a positional exercise and almost a laboratory where you figure out what works and what doesn't. The one thing about that clip that I thought was somewhat ludicrous, but this is just because it's probably a movie. I've actually seen the movie, and to teach somebody enough Wing Chun so that they're capable in battle in 2 to 3 weeks is a somewhat ridiculous idea. But nonetheless, I don't really have too many negative comments to say about that. Now, when we move on to Robert Downey Jr., on the other hand, it's a little bit different story. Robert Downey Jr. went on Oprah first, and they showed some video clips of him and his Kwoon with his master practicing some Wing Chun techniques, which I thought was all very well and good. I thought the whole thing about going on about the blue sashes and the pajamas and whatnot, it kind of gets away from what the practicing of martial arts is about, which is learning how to fight, and that kind of gets away from that, and I don't think it's really needed. But that's not really what my main problem was. My main problem with Robert Downey Jr. is his lack of respect for the Wing Chun system, which is very apparent in this clip. One of the things I noticed, first off, was that he goes on national TV, and the first thing he says is Bill G, Bill G, Bill G, and he just starts talking about the Bill G system. This is one of the most secret techniques of Wing Chun, to go on national television and just start throwing finger jabs and start blabbing about this form is, I think, very disrespectful. One of the things that Robert Downey Jr. says when he first comes on is how Wing Chun has taught him a great amount of respect and how it's centered him and focused him. And then he goes on with David Letterman to really trivialize Wing Chun and its practice. They're sitting there joking around about the name Bill G. David Letterman refers to it as Bill G, like it's a name of some guy with no last name. And to claim that you have a lot of respect for something and then trivialize it is really good. It's really disrespectful. You're disrespecting your art. And also, one of the things Robert Downey Jr. mentions is that what drew him. David Letterman asks him, "What drew you? What drew you to the Wing Chun system?" And Robert Downey Jr. says, "Well, the Bill G." And I had to question this, because if Bill G is what drew you to the Wing Chun system, that means somebody showed it to you before you actually started practicing. And for a Sifu or a master to show a prospective student the most secret techniques of their system is just bad form. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. To go into a class and have a master show you the most secret, most deadliest techniques that they have as a way of trying to entice you to take that martial art form, it's just a bit ridiculous. I don't like that too much. I also want to go on to say, this whole thing with Robert Downey Jr. being on there and just going on and on about this Bill G. The fact of the matter with Bill G is that it's not effective unless you practice Wing Chun. You have to do Wing Chun. You have to do Wing Chun for years. Otherwise, if you get in a fight, Robert Downey Jr. he says, if you get in a fight with somebody, first thing, Bill G, right to the eyes. If they can't see, well, then the rest of the fight it doesn't matter. Well, yeah, but here's the deal. If you get attacked on the street by some big guy and you try to poke him in the eyes, probably what's going to happen is you're going to piss him off, and he's going to hurt you even worse than he would have regularly because you tried to poke him in the eyes. So this whole thing with poking people in the eyes, this mysterious, deadly Bill G, yes, but only if you practice and develop the necessary strength and control and angle to be able to use these techniques properly. You can't just go into a fight and start poking somebody in the eyes. On another level, let's say some guy comes up to you and he says, "Well, I want to fight." You just haul off and you get lucky and you poke the guy right in the eyes and you blind him. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to go to jail. You can't just blind people at random. You can't just blind people that confront you for some reason. I mean, if you're in a deadly situation and your loved ones are being attacked, you're being attacked, and it's a last resort, by all means, gouge their eyes out. But if you're just going around at the slightest hint of provocation, blinding people, you're going to get in a lot of trouble, and that's just all there is to it. So the whole thing with Robert Downey Jr. on David Letterman, both trivializing Bill G, suggesting that people go around poking people in the eyes, is absolutely ridiculous. I think that Robert Downey Jr. does a great disservice to Wing Chun. He's making Wing Chun into something that it's not. He is trivializing Wing Chun while saying that he's trying to promote it, which is, it's a contradiction and a paradox. It's not what he's doing. Yeah, you have to have more respect for your martial art than that. And I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. shows the proper amount of respect. And I think that he should probably stick to making movies and keep that part of his life private. Thank you. This is Ben Jacobson, and that is my video comment.